Okay, so as I mentioned in my last video, I am actually filming this in Los Angeles. I got here this afternoon, and I am just absolutely bushed. It's been a long day, but I wanted to do a video update from LA. I thought that would be kind of cool. I'm not quite to the point where I feel like I can take the camera to the gym and take the camera shopping and all that kind of stuff with me. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to do that. I know a lot of guys do, to kind of document everything that they're going through and their process, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm that bold to film myself in public yet. But anyway, this past weekend, I guess Saturday, I updated Jeff. My weight measurement was 170.2. So that was down a little less than a pound from the prior week. So I'm still moving in the right direction there. I think my waist measurement was 30.5, which I think was roughly the same. But again, I feel like that's kind of arbitrary, depending on, you know, how tight you pull the tape measure and whatnot. So Jeff said this week I'm on the same calories with the single refeed. And he said cardio and everything else should stay the same. So that's pretty cool. I've actually been kind of upping the cardio a little bit on my own. And, you know, on average the past couple weeks, I think per cardio session I've been burning about 375 calories. And just yesterday and actually today, I actually went to the gym and did some cardio before flying out. I've been trying to target about 415, 420, so I'm just kind of upping it a little bit on my own. I feel like I can do that. I feel like my strength is still there. I feel like I haven't lost a lot of strength and muscle mass, which is good. I still feel really winded when I'm at the gym, which is to be expected because I just don't have the energy, you know, behind my workouts. But that said, I still feel like I'm really churning it out. You know, I was doing some curls and stuff the other day, and I was actually pushing or curling more weight than I normally would when I'm eating whatever I want. So I feel like that's a positive thing. So a little bit about my trip. I'm out here for literally like 2 days for work, and you know, it's kind of frustrating because normally when I come out on a work travel or, you know, a trip like that, I can normally put some really nice meals on the company card. You know, my company covers it, and I can normally have some like nice steak dinners. I can go out and hit some, you know, fast food joints on the West Coast that I normally wouldn't have access to on the East Coast, like In-N-Out Burger and stuff. And this time I can't do that. I was pretty dead set on sticking to my guns. And you know, to quote, I think Romeo Estrada said in his video, you know, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll make an excuse. So, you know, I'm finding a way. I found a way to do it. I actually booked a room at an extended stay, which I've never stayed at before, but they're okay. They're not bad. And, you know, the thing with the extended stay is that you actually have like a little kitchenette. So you've got like a full-size fridge, a cooktop, a microwave, basically a sink, you know, whatever you would need to sort of prepare your own meals. And they, you know, they provide dishes and cookware and stuff like that. So, you know, there's not really an excuse. You know, if I want to stick to my diet, I'm going to do it. So I got here, you know, like I said, this afternoon, and well, actually, let me backtrack. I was actually, you know, when I was at the airport, I woke up this morning, I had my breakfast, I did my cardio and all that stuff, and I left for the airport. I got to the airport, and it turns out there's a Panda Express at JFK Airport. And, you know, Panda Express, there really aren't that many of them in New York, and that's like one of my favorite fast food joints. I love Chinese food, and I love Panda Express. I can't get enough of it, you know, when I'm on the West Coast. So anyway, last night I was trying to figure out if I could incorporate some Panda Express in my diet. You know, I know that sounds crazy. It's fast food, it's fried Chinese, but they actually have some like things on the menu that are not terrible. They're not great, but you know, they're not as bad as you might think. So I spent like an hour just kind of going over all their nutritional stuff, and I added a couple things to my diet for today that I could eat from Panda Express. And that doesn't include brown rice. It was literally like 3 entrees that I could do. I think two of them were chicken and one was like a beef broccoli or something. But, you know, as it turns out, the chicken entrees that I could eat, like, it's not the good stuff. It's not the stuff that you want from Panda Express. It's not like the fried chicken with like the sweet sauces and stuff like that. It's not like the Beijing beef or the orange chicken or any of that really good stuff. So anyway, I figured that would be better than nothing, though. I thought I would just get like an entree, like and no side, no brown rice or anything like that. You know, just to try to keep it within reason, so I didn't like burn up, you know, a third or half of my calories for the day in one meal. So I got to the airport, and it was a smaller Panda Express, you know, because it's at the airport. And as it turns out, they had one of the 3 entree choices that I could actually eat. And it was not my favorite. It was the more highly caloric of the 3, and it was like the hot fire, spicy fire chicken or something, not the sweet fire chicken, which is of course fried. That stuff is awesome. But it was this other kind of chicken, and it was, I don't know, I was standing there and I was really, really debating it, and I was kind of torturing myself, and I ended up getting an order of it. And it was actually a lot of food. I had my scale with me. I brought that in my suitcase, so I was kind of weighing it beforehand to make sure I got like the, you know, the 12 ounces or whatever that I had allotted. And I don't know, it just wasn't good. You know, it was kind of a tease. It was probably worse than not having it at all, to be honest. You know, to get up there in line and to see all the amazing Panda Express food that I want to eat, obviously, and then to not get that. And then to have something that's really spicy before a flight, like that just doesn't really sit well with me. So I ate it, and, you know, I don't think I'm going to do that again. It was kind of a lesson learned, to be honest, because I just feel like, you know, the fast food, if you can't really have what you want, then what's the point? I was looking at, like, there's actually an In-N-Out burger, like, literally right next to my hotel, which I love. I love In-N-Out burger, but I can't do it, you know, because I was looking at the menu last night, and even if I go with, like, their secret menu option where you get like a hamburger patty on like a lettuce bun or whatever, and like an order of fries, it's still like 900 to 1,000 calories and like pretty much all of my fat for the day. And, you know, it's just crazy. So I'm gonna have to persevere and just sort of put it off until, you know, the next time I'm out here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the you know, the fast food joints and stuff, obviously, and I kind of figured as much. But, you know, one can hope. You know, I was trying to figure out if it could fit my macros, and, you know, it would be tight and just not worth it, you know, because I couldn't do like the special sauce on the In-N-Out burger. I'd have to go with like ketchup and mustard and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So anyway, that was my little confession about Panda Express. You know, tried it, sort of, wouldn't try it again, and I'm okay with that, you know. And then the flight wasn't too bad. I had weighed some bananas beforehand. I put those in a container so I wasn't like peeling bananas and trying to weigh them on the plane, because I was in a middle seat, which is terrible, but that was all that was left. So I did some bananas, I had some rice cakes, and I had a protein bar. You know, which is not bad. It was like 500 calories, and it just kills me because I was looking at like the in-flight food, and I was actually flying Virgin America, and, you know, they're pretty decent airline, and they actually have some pretty decent food options. They have like a protein platter that I would normally get, but again, it was pretty high in fat because there's a lot of cheese in it and stuff. And I thought, I don't have to eat the cheese, but then I don't really know how much I'm getting. I don't know how many calories I'm really getting and how much protein and all that stuff. So I kind of decided not to do that. I felt like Panda Express was kind of a stretch anyway, you know, because truth be told, they list their nutrition and stuff on the website, but all that stuff is sort of made on the day, so there's no telling like whether the chef actually put what he was supposed to put in there, if he like went overboard on the oils and stuff like that. So it's a stretch, which is another reason I'm not going to do that again. But anyway, I was looking at some of the food on the Virgin flight because they list the calories, and there was like this sandwich, and it just blows my mind. Like, now that I'm paying attention to calories and stuff, I just couldn't believe how many calories there were in this sandwich. And not only that, but I think there were like 44 grams of fat, which is basically like 2/3 of my fat for the day. And then like on top of that, there were like 80 grams of carbs or something, which isn't terrible, but I mean, it was high. you know, but the girl that was sitting next to me actually ended up ordering that, and it smelled delicious. It smelled wonderful. I'm sitting there like munching on my rice cakes like a mouse or whatever, while she's like chimming down on this this really good looking club sandwich, you know. But it's just crazy. You know, it kind of puts things in perspective. Like now that I am aware of how much crap is in the food that's out there, you know, and it's tough like walking around the airport and seeing like Buffalo Wild Wings and McDonald's and Panda Express and Dunkin' Donuts, and it's just like terrible, terrible food. And you walk past these like coffee shops and they've all got like glass cases with like big hunks of like coffee cake and stuff. Like, I don't know, I miss that stuff. I'm gonna eat it again after this competition. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna make myself fatter than I've ever been, you know, with that stuff. But I don't know, it just is interesting, like how much of that stuff is out there, and that's what we eat. Like, that's really, you really kind of have to make an effort and go out of your way to eat not even like healthy food, but just to not eat like just total crap. Not to eat stuff that's like just entirely fat and carbs, you know. It's an effort. You have to make an effort, and you know, like I said, if it's important, you'll find a way to do it. So anyway, that was kind of what my my flight was like, and my whole Panda Express experience. And okay, this is like 11 minutes and 30 seconds, so I'm gonna actually have to break this up into parts. So if you'll bear with me, I'm gonna call that the end of part 1, and I'll come back and post part 2.